Hi guys, Johnny Wilson here, and welcome to a special edition that I have, and this is to do with knee health. So it's a lot of people suffer with knee issues, whether it's cartilage, whether it's osteoarthritis, whether it's suffering a trauma such as ACL or torn meniscus, etc., etc., etc. Especially if you play rotational sports or if you've had a fall. So the knee, it gets battered about and so on and so forth. And a lot of people come to me with chronic or persistent knee pain, a knee that might swell after doing too much, or so too much volume, maybe too much walking or too much playing football or whatever they're doing, or the intensity is too much, i.e., that the exercise that they did, maybe it was just too hard for them. And what we want to do is we want to create a healing environment for the knee. Now, if you've got good knees and they're great, then this is something that you can do to maintain the health of your knee as well. Okay. So it'll take about 22, 23 minutes. Well, there's a lot of exercises here. We're going to be looking at mobility, we're going to be looking at stability, we're going to be looking at flexibility, we're going to be looking at balance, we're going to be looking at strength, we're going to be looking at endurance, like coordination, at range of movement. There's a huge amount that's going on here, and we'll be looking at all the muscle groups as well. We'll be doing 30 seconds per exercise, and there'll be 15 seconds in between that where we're going to set up on our next one. Equipment wise, you might use a chair at home or something, or a bench or something. I've got a box here I'm going to use. I use a little bit of a slider disc on the floor here, you'll see, for one of the exercises. I've got a glute band for my clams. I've got a pad that I'm going to kneel on as well. And I'm going to make one of my exercises, my straight leg raising, I'm going to make it harder by using an ankle weight. And I've got a little step there which I'm going to be using for my step downs and stuff like that. So you can improvise, you know what I mean, if you haven't got the stuff as well at the moment. It's over time you can pick some stuff up as well, so it should be handy enough. All right, are we good to go? I hope we're good to go, because we're going to do the first exercise and we're going to be looking at a flexibility exercise. Okay, so I'm going to put my timer on. I'm going to start our timer, and that is going to start now. Okay, so, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a hip opener. Okay, so we're going to open out the hips like that, so feet as wide as you possibly can do, bending over so you're getting a little bit of flexion. You can get some strength work through this as well if you take your hands off the floor, and you'll feel a stretch through those groins here, right? Now I'm feeling a little bit more through my right side than I am through my left side. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we come out of that gingerly enough, he says. Okay, now I'm going to use a pad. You can use whatever you want at home. Roll up a mat. Use anything you want, really, like, you know what I mean. But it's just to keep the knees nice and comfortable. So I'm going to keep my hips nice and upright like that. I'm going to lean back as far as I can, and when I get back as far as I can, I'll hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to come back up again. Okay, so then we're going to go back down again, and we're going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to feel this huge stretch on the front of your quads here. Going back down again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll do one more. Back down again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, fantastic. Okay, and then the third exercise we're going to do is we're going to do some heel raising at tempo. So I'm going to get my little step here. You don't need a step. You could do this off the floor as well. So there's no need for a step here if you don't have a step. If you don't have a step, don't use it. So up and down a tempo. So up for 3, hold at the top for 3, and then back down for 3 and hold at the bottom. Okay, so you're just going nice and slowly up to the range, squeeze at the top of the range, and then back down. Again, all the way up, squeeze at the top, good, and then back down. Now we're going to do one more of these because we missed out in the first couple of seconds. So up to the top, back down, and hold there. Okay, so then you're going to change sides again, so your foot is just, heel is off the back of the step, and then you're going to go up for a count of 3, 2, 1, hold at the top, keep the knee straight. So this one's where we're doing a straight knee heel raise. We'll be doing a bent knee heel raise later on. Okay, so up for 3, squeeze at the top for 3, down for 3, and if you're on a step, hold at the bottom. If you're not on a step, then just go back up to the top. Good, holding that, then back down, Good. Everything below the knee protects the knee. This is why this is really important. And time. Okay, fantastic. Sure, you're flying through this. Okay, now, next exercise, we're going to do straight leg raise, okay, which means you're going to be sitting on the floor, all right? Now, I'm going to use a bit of an ankle weight, okay? But you can do it without the ankle weight. You don't need the ankle weight, but I just want to make it a little bit harder for myself. And I could have given myself a little bit more time to set up, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. If you want to get going before me, you get going before me. Other than that, I'm well behind the time here. Okay, so hands off the floor, and then you're just lifting that leg up and down, just like that. We got another 10 seconds to do on this side, because I was late setting up on this side, wasn't I? Good. Well done. Now I'm definitely feeling when you've got the old thing there, the old ankle weight. Right. Change sides. Okay. Pop it on there. Shouldn't take too long to pop it on, you know what I mean? Like a bit of a faff, but it goes on as well, doesn't it? Again, you can put your hands down on the floor if you need a little bit of balance. And if you're not watching this live, you can always press pause and take a few more seconds. It's just like a lot to get through today. Keep it going. Doing really well. We've got another 5 seconds on this side. Whew. I am definitely feeling that. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Off that goes. Right. Okay. Next exercise we're going to do is, again, I'm going to get my mat or my little pad there, and I'm going to have a slider here, right? Okay. And I'm put my foot on it. That might be a towel at home for you. And you're going to slide it out like that. I'm feeling a stretch on there, right down into it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my toes to my nose, and then I'm going to stretch it out again, and I'm going to hold that stretch. So I'm in a good split stance position there. I'm holding that, and you feel a stretch behind the hamstring there. 3, 2, 1. So then you're going to change knees. Okay. I think I'll do this class again, and I do with a bit more time between exercises, and also for the exercise. Okay, so really stretching that out as far as you can, feeling that stretch at the back of the hamstring there. Okay, and then you're going to bring the heel up, slide it out a bit more, and you're going to feel more of a stretch in the back of the hamstring, right down into it there, holding that. Doing really, really well. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, well done, guys. Okay, so we're going to open out the lateral hip, or the structures on the side of the hip. They're going to be really tight. So I'm lying on my back, and I put one leg over my knee like that, and I'm going to bring it down into this position here, and I'm going to feel a stretch through my tensor fasciae lata and my iliotibial band there. And it's going to be a beautiful stretch. And I'm just holding that, because we want to decompress and release all the structures that may be pulling on the kneecap. And that might be causing some issues within the knee as well. Ooh, I'm definitely feeling that. 3, 2, 1. Back up into the center, line on your back. Then bring the outside of your heel to contact with the outside of your knee. Bring it down across your body, and you're going to feel that stretch down there. Now, I don't feel it as much on this side as I do on the other side, that's for sure. But then again, my left knee was my issue knee anyway. But my left knee is absolutely fantastic now, so it is. A lot of hard work to get there. No sense of entitlement from me. As you all know, I like to work hard, and I work hard for the stuff I have. I definitely wasn't gifted with anything in life, that's for sure. Good. Feel that stretch. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, it's beautiful, that is. That's gorgeous. Right, okay, now step downs. Now I like to do these without my shoes on, as you know, because I'm trying to work the deep intrinsic foot muscles. Okay, so I'll take my shoe off straight away, all right? And you'll see that I'm just going to do a mini knee bend. Going to go down nice and slowly, get to the bottom and back up. I'll put my hands above my head because I want to keep my chest upright. And I'm just going up and down nice and slowly. Down to the bottom, hovering, trying not to touch the floor, and I'm managing my balance as much as I can as well. 3, 2, and good. Okay, then we're going to change legs. Okay, again, one leg up on top of it like that, keeping a straight line, keep the chest upright, mind your horizon, and then you're going to go down nice and slowly, and you're going to control. The knee will want to go inwards, it will want to dive inwards, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, and you should be doing this in a pain-free range. Okay, so if you're feeling pain, then shorten the range. All right, just teach the body that it's going to be pain-free range. All right, good. Last 10 seconds on this one. And there'll be days when you feel it, and days when it's super. Okay, and that's the way that's going to be as well. And time. Okay, fantastic. Right, okay, next thing we're going to do is you might need like a chair or a stool or something like that anyway. Okay, I'm just going to use my box here. Okay, and I'm going to put it there like that, and I'm going to bring my hip up and around like that and drop into what we call piriformis stretch, or there's loads of names for this stretch. But I'm stretching out all the glute muscles here, around there. I'm just trying to get down into it, and you're trying to find a position for you wherever you can get into it. Now, I know you're at home, especially those who are watching it live, and thank you very much for turning up here today live. And you're like, oh my God, he's going on to another exercise, he's gone on to another exercise. I know that as well, right? I'm well aware that we're going to have to repeat this class again because it's a very good class. So change sides, guys. So just getting that leg up there like that. And I think if I was doing it again, I definitely do 45 seconds to a minute per exercise. It does lengthen the class out, but I think it's certainly worth doing it anyway. Okay. And it's great to do as well if you're like in preparation for some high intensity work, or let's say as a recovery class as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be great for that as well. Right, feeling that stretch on the other side now. That's great stuff. Brilliant. 3, 2, 1. Tis frenetic, but you know, we're getting through it, aren't we? We're getting through it. Right. Okay, next we're going to look at balance. We're going to look at posterior chain because that's really important. So we're going to stand on one leg, okay? And we're going to do our windmills. So opposite hand, or both hands down, slowly. Try not to bend the knee. So I've just got a mini bend on this knee, right? Okay, I don't have, you can see it's not bending. I'm flexing and extending from the hip there, right? And I'm trying to manage my balance and coordinate it, and coordinate the hamstrings and the calf muscles, and you'll start to feel those muscles start to burn as well. Right, down. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then we'll go to the opposite side, okay? So it's a mini knee bend. A mini knee bend means very slight, right? Okay. Getting ready to go. Getting your balance, okay? And then away we go. Right. Yep. Down and touch. Holy moly. Oh my goodness. Right. That's the one. Up and down. You should feel that stretch in the hamstrings. I see a lot of people do this, but they bend the knee a little bit too much, so they never get that stretch through the hamstrings. Good. Ay, ay, ay. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Next one that they call it the couch stretch. Okay. So I don't know why, but because you can probably do it beside a couch, right? And what we're going to do is put your pad down again. Going to go down into 4-point kneeling, turn, bring your leg like that, and now we're going to see, can we feel that stretch right through the front of your hip flexors there, okay? This can be the wall at home, it can be the couch at home, it can be anything at home, and you're just putting your leg up there like that. And over time, you're trying to get yourself back into that position. Then you can stretch up, you can reach back, you can squeeze the glute, you can drive forward like that, whatever it takes to get that stretch on. Okay, cool, change sides. So again, for me to change sides, I'm going to go sidewards on, okay? So the knee I want to stretch as closest to wherever the object I'm going to put it onto. I'm going to bring it up like that if I can, okay? This one comes out into this position here, and then I'm going to come up here. So it takes a bit of function, doesn't it, to get into this position here? Like, it's like not an easy position to get into. There are other ways to do this, guys. You could just put your foot on the back of a chair and get a bit of a quad stretch if that's where you're at. If that's where you're at. I'm showing you kind of like I suppose the most difficult one there that we can kind of work on. Right, good. So feeling that stretch. Fantastic. Okay, good. So the next one we're going to do then is we're going to hold an arabesque position, okay? So what I mean by that is I'm going to put my hands on an object out here, and I'm going to bring this leg up as straight as I can, and I'm going to feel a huge stretch and work through this back, through the standing leg there. Now I can really feel that through my calf and my hamstring, and I'm working hard to straighten my knee, and I'm working hard to bring my non-weight bearing knee up as high as I can, and I'm coming down into that, like, so I should look like a T. I probably don't, right? But I'm working towards looking like a T. 2, 1. Whoa, I love that one. It's tough. I love it though. And I probably don't look like I should look doing it, you know, like, so imagine you want to be a T, right? Okay, down into that position there. Feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Stretch the hands out there like that. Huge neural stretch. Now on this side I'm feeling all rotated and turned in positions that I don't want to be turned into. And I'm working hard to maintain the posture that I want. And it's all about that posture, getting that posture right. Different feeling on my left compared to my right, so you may feel something different on yours as well. 2, 1. Woo! Where are we at? Oh, nice one. Bulgarian split squat. So we did our straight leg heel raise earlier on. Now what we're going to do, and you can hold on to something, right? Find something to hold on to, right? And you're going to go down into this position here, and then you're going to bring that front. You can see the way my heel comes up off the ground. And now we're doing bent knee, heel raising for 30 seconds. Hold on to something either side, right? Try and get your heel off the ground and then back on the ground. You're doing really well. Tough exercise, this one. I love it. 2 and 1. Whew. Okay. And again then, opposite leg goes back on something any way you want. Down into that knee bend. Okay. And then we're getting ready to go on 3, 2, 1. And let's go, guys. Up and down. I'm finding it even hard to like recruit the muscles. Not to mind how difficult it is. Good, you're doing great. Last 10 seconds to do. I feel like the place looks like a bit of a mess because I've got so much stuff around the place at the moment. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Right, okay. Now it is easy for me because I know what's coming next and I have everything set up, all right? I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of that. Okay, sideline. But when you've done it a few times, you'll be like me, you'll be grand with it. Okay, sideline quad stretch. So into that fetal position there like that, elbow down on the floor like that, swing her back around like that, drop the knee down, and then feel that stretch through the front of the quads there, okay? Again, I'm well aware that we're going very fast through the exercises. That'll be the feedback I get, and I will take that on board for sure. So I think it's definitely worth doing this again anyway. Hold this position for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then change sides. Swing around like that. Okay, and both into fetal position, and then that one goes back like that. Try and get a big distance, gap separation between your heel and your knee, and then you're feeling that stretch there through that. You're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, we're keeping up with it. That's the main thing. Do you know what I mean? like you're probably, you know, maybe an exercise or two behind because you're stuck for equipment and all that, because we're doing it live at the moment, or maybe it's your first time doing it live, you're watching on demand, etc., etc. Okay, and time, but you're doing great, you're doing great. Okay, now next one I like to do is what I call a kneeling matrix. So you can see my little pad comes into great effect here now again, right? So I'm going to see, can I kneel on my knees like that? Okay, and if I can, I'm just going to rock from side to side. If I can't, then what I might do is just do one knee at a time. Okay, put my hands on the floor and go like that, and then I would change knees like that and go like that. But if I can, I'll be kneeling down like here. This is really important, great for the health of the knee, and I'm just going to rock side to side just like that. Okay, you're doing really well. 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic, great stuff, guys. Okay, now what I'm going to do then is I'm going to grab a weight. You don't have to grab a weight. You're going to have one knee on the pad, one knee like that. Okay, you don't need a weight. I'm going to use a weight, and I'll drop it up there, and I'm going to sit my bum to my heel. Right, can you see that? So I'm keeping my chest upwards, sitting back down like that, and then I'm driving my hips forward. So I sit back down and I drive up like that. You're doing really well. And then having the weight just makes it a lot more difficult. Good. Last 5 seconds. 2, and time. Okay. So then I'll go to the other side of my mat, of my pad, I should say. I'm into split stance kneeling again. I bring my weight up into that position if I'm going to use one. Don't need to use one. And then I'm going to sit back down and up. Good. Love it. The key to healthy knees. And it doesn't matter how much damage is in there. We have the ability to repair. We have the ability to heal. We have the ability to change. Emotionally, physically, whatever it is. And time. Okay, fantastic. 3 exercises to do. Okay, next one I'm going to do is, if I can find it, I'm going to use my band, my glute band, and I'm going to do resisted clams. Okay, so I'm going to lie on my side, my knees are bent, and I'm going to keep my heels together, and then I'm going to pull out like that. Okay, and you're now going to be working the rotator cuff muscles of your hip, your external rotation muscles, and you want to get up there and really pull hard on the glute band and feel them working. Okay, now we started a bit late on this one, so we'll go another 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then all you do, swap around like that, and then we're going to go on the other side again like that, up and down. Try and keep your heels together, and it's just the knee separates. We're just trying to get maximal knee separation. The hips are always, the heels are always in contact, and you're feeling the glute muscles working really hard to bring you out into that position there. And then you squeeze at the top. You just hold the top for a second or two. Okay, good. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so from there now, you're going to use like a chair or a stool or something anyway, or you can do it on the floor. And we're going to do a elevated hamstring bridge. Okay, so I'm going to do like this. So I'm lying on the floor here, and started 10 seconds late. My pad comes in handy again, and I'm going to just bring myself up and down. Started 15 seconds late. So we'll be doing this all the way through. So there'll be no rest between the right and the left. And I'm trying to squeeze that glute and get up as high as I can, okay? Heel down into it, right? So you're pushing the heel down into it, and then you're bringing that up as high as you can. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Change sides. So no break between these two. Good, up and down. One exercise to do after this, guys. What a phenomenal class. Feel the glutes, feel the hamstrings. Great for the lower back as well. You feel those paraspinals starting to work. Try and get the hips really extended. Drive that heel into what elevated surface we got. And time. What have we got left? Asian squat now. Right. Just go to wherever you can go, right? An Asian squat is a resting squat, and you can hold on to something, and basically what you're just trying to do here is just trying to get down into that position there, okay? And you're holding that position there for just 30 seconds, okay? And we're doing really, really well. Now, you might not be down this far, and that's fine, okay? Just go down as far as you can go. Good, guys, come on. Last 10 seconds and we are done. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, it was a bit frenetic, frantic, a lot of exercises there. Brilliant to go through range, through balance, through strength, through endurance, the whole lot in it. Okay, I'll probably do it again and elongate it a little bit. But what a great start! You can always do the pause button and so on and so forth. So listen, I hope you enjoyed that. And this is Johnny Wilson, El Capitan, as always, signing out.